In today's video, we're going to look at remote-controlled lighting's latest method of controlling our lights, RCL control. We will use the RCL control app set in demo mode, which is something anyone can do by visiting the App Store link in the video description. RCL control uses Wi-Fi to communicate to a network, and then thread mesh to communicate from the mediator box to the luminaires and from light fitting to light fitting. In time, RCL control will be expanded to precision lighting products and maybe others. Enjoy the video. This is a quick walkthrough of RCL control, remote-controlled lighting's new software and hardware to control our fittings wirelessly. This is a quick run-through of the interface and how it works. The first page you might see is this one. This shows you all of your zones and light plans that you have per zone. To enter one of them, you tap it. You then see a floor plan of the space that you want to control. If I want to control a specific fitting, I tap that fitting. On the right-hand side, the control panel appears. There are a few sections to this control panel. One of the simplest is dimming control, which is this slider. If I want to dim it, I slide my finger along the slider from 0 to 100%. If I want to dim it by smaller increments, I would tap on the bar, bring my finger down, and then dim. Now you can see it moving by much smaller steps, but I can just bring it straight up to 100%. If I want to move the fitting, I have a couple of techniques. The first one, and I think probably the quickest, is the joystick, where I tap and I drag, and you can see the angles changing. I don't have to tap the middle of the joystick, I can tap anywhere here. If I want to set a particular fitting to a specific tilt angle, in this case a DRX5, I can use the jog wheel function by either dragging to a specific point or jogging it to a specific point. Exactly the same can be done for the pan angle. I can either drag the fitting to where I want it to go or jog it round like a DJ. As you can see, when I move it to a specific position, there is a trail that leads back to that position. That is actually the light fitting telling the application where it currently is and where it's moving to. If I grab my remote control and I move the fitting by the handheld controller, you'll see its position change on the screen. That's showing you that it's feeding that information back to the mediator box and to the app. This also enables you to use multiple iPads simultaneously to set scenes, or a mixture of iPads and remote control. If I want to home the fitting and make it go straight down, I would tap home. And you'll see that the pan angle is now 0, as is the tilt angle. If I want to select a scene, I tap into scenes. I can create a scene where I capture all of the fittings. Now this is communicating back with the mediator box. And now I've captured that scene. If I want to recall that scene, I would just click it and all of the lights would go to there. If I want to move multiple lights together, I can select groups of fittings by clicking, say, group 1 and selecting all of the red fittings. Or if I were to click select all, I would select group 1 and all of the other fittings together. Now these grey fittings could quite easily be in other groups too. If we go back to control quickly, you'll notice there are 2 more icons at the top here. These are for controlling fittings of ours which have some slightly more fun attributes. This one is for changing colour temperature, and just like the dimming control, I tap my finger on the bar and I move it around from 2200 to 4000 Kelvin. Exactly the same for beam width. I tap my finger in the circle and then I move my finger to change the beam angle. In this case, the fitting is a variable pin spot from 8 to 16 degrees, but it works just the same with one of our lens vector fittings, which will go from 6 degrees to 50 or from 10 degrees to 50, depending on where you want to start. The scenes can also be set to DALI scene numbers. That means that if I feed in to my mediator box a DALI signal, and I press go to scene 1 on my DALI panel, all of my fittings wirelessly will go to scene 1. I wanted to go into a bit more detail about multiple selection and control of scenes. In this case, I have a room with many similar lights, but let's say that I want to set a scene which only operates on a number of these lights. I'm going to select the top 2 lights in each bay and the innermost of the horizontal bays at the bottom. You'll see in the top right I've got 10 lights selected. I can control the dimming level of these lights, only these 10 lights, by moving my slider. Now in this case it's a slider because these lights might all be at different dimming levels to start with, and I don't necessarily want to send them all to 100%. I'd rather scale dim them and bring them all down slowly together or up together in a smooth dimming function. If I want to send them all to the same position, I can use my wheels and my jog positions. But if I want to add those 10 lights to their own scene, I would click on Scenes in the top right, click on Edit, and Capture. Now that's communicated back to the mediator box and to all of the fittings and created a scene called Scene 1. If I tap into that scene, I can rename it. We'll call it 10. I can recapture it if I want to. Maybe I've moved a light since then. And I can give it a DALI address. This one, let's say, will be 2. Now that scene, if operated either by me pressing on scene 10, like that, or by pressing DALI scene button 2, will only act on those 10 fittings. Next time, we'll be looking at Precision Lighting's new range of spotlights called Solo. Until then, stay safe, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.